Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. General Hospital. Carly vs. Britt clash and Jason's torn heart. We're going to talk about how vicious it might get when Britt faces off with Carly because it's going to leave Jason stuck in the middle, forced to choose between them. And it's going to get super soapy. Jason's undying loyalty to Carly and Britt's heartbreak. When Britt finally came face to face with Jason after both their resurrections, it was clear they both still had feelings for each other. Actually, it was clear that Britt and Jason still cared about each other even before they were face to face because General Hospital had them both reminiscing about their romantic past. But then, when Britt found out Jason was presumed dead because he became an FBI informant, something shifted for Britt. It didn't take long for her to realize Jason did all of that for Carly. Just like back when Jason and Britt were dating and he dumped her to run and help Carly. It seems very clear to Britt that Jason always does this. It's a pattern of behavior. Fans have watched Carly demand Jason's time, his focus, and attention be on her before anybody else for so many years. Britt knows without a doubt Jason will always put Carly before anybody else. He has done it even in front of his son, Danny Morgan, Asher Jarrett and Tonneson. Jason let Danny think he was dead for years so that he could protect Carly. Looking at it that way, Jason even puts Carly before his kids. General Hospital. Britt's quick turnaround. After Britt heard about Jason doing dirty FBI stuff to shield Carly, that was kind of enough for Britt. She got cold and distant. She told Jason, "Go away. I want nothing to do with you." Clearly, Britt is still hurt. And she sees Jason as somebody who would hurt her again in exactly the same way. The way she's feeling is absolutely understandable. Years ago, Britt and Jason were starting something real. And then he slammed the brakes on, ditched Britt, and went and married Carly. Of course, Jason did it not only to help Carly but at that time also to protect the Corinthos family back when Sonny Corinthos, Maurice Bernard, was presumed dead and there was going to be a mob power vacuum and some threat. So, Jason was doing that for more than just Carly. But still, from Britt's perspective, it was just about Carly. We know even back then Jason didn't want to hurt Britt, but he felt like it was what he had to do, choosing Carly at the time. Britt is still hurt. She's angry even now. She's back home in Port Charles, which is where Jason wants her to be. As far as we can tell, Britt's not going anywhere, and we don't think Jason's going to stop pestering her until he finds a way to make things right with Britt and get her to date him again. But no matter what Jason intends, we don't think Carly is going to make it easy for Jason to reconcile and rekindle with Britt. We think she's going to be an ongoing obstacle. The Carly obstacle. Current conflicts and unbreakable trust. Jason insists he wants to be Britt's friend, but we think Jason actually wants more than that. Of course, Britt actually does too, but she just won't admit to it because the past is still fresh in her mind and it's still painful. So, if Jason has any hope of softening Britt up so that she'll date him again, he's going to have to fix this Carly issue once and for all. Already, Britt and Carly are bickering. It went badly when Britt came down in her towel because she was locked out of Jason's room above Bobby's diner. When Britt walked up to Carly and Jason, he pressed Carly to play nice when he had to abruptly leave. Then Carly was telling Britt, "Don't be late with the rent." Things are about to get contentious between Carly and Britt. Bottom line. If Jason wants to be with Britt, he's going to have to prove to her that he's not just going to up and drop her for Carly again anytime she calls. Britt and Carly are clearly not ever going to be each other's biggest fans. Carly was just trash-talking Britt and going on about how there's this amazing history between Carly and Jason, and how Britt will never have that with him because the trust between Carly and Jason is unbreakable. When Carly said that, it struck Britt funny because she knows Jason is sitting on a huge secret he's keeping from Carly. The fact that her daughter Jocelyn Jax, Eden McCoy, is a WSB agent. So, that unbreakable trust has actually already been broken. And Carly just doesn't know it. To her credit, Britt did not drop the Jocelyn bombshell, but she could at any moment. Monica's passing. A catalyst for change in Jason's love life? Things may shift soon now that Jason is facing this terrible tragedy. His mom, Monica Quartermain, Leslie Charlson, just passed away. And of course, Jason's the one who found her and had to report it. He's absolutely devastated. Of course, Carly is going to be there for Jason, but we also think Britt is going to put aside some of her anger at him to comfort Jason. Britt would obviously be sympathetic that he's grieving his mother. We think deep down Britt actually loves Jason, so her heart is going to be hurting for him. With Monica's memorial coming, the chatter we've heard is both Carly and Britt are there. But which one is Jason's plus one? We do think Jason may actually shock the heck out of Carly and choose Britt. Carly can throw a tantrum all she wants, but isn't Jason entitled to decide who's the priority in his own life? Isn't he in charge of deciding how his life runs so that he can have love in his life? Of course, he's the one who should be deciding, but in the past, it's always been Carly. Monica's death a turning point on General Hospital? The passing of Jason's mom, Monica, may make it clear to Jason that life's short and there's no time to waste. Carly is with Jack Brennan, Chris McKenna, so why shouldn't Jason chase what he wants? Because the bottom line is Jason needs to stop catering to Carly's every whim. Jason's not her husband. He's not her boyfriend. But Carly assumes she can date Brennan and still keep Jason in her pocket as a ride-along, who will drop everything and do what she wants no matter what. This means that Jason basically isn't going to have a love of his life as long as Carly keeps expecting that. It's not reasonable for any woman Jason dates to settle for being second place behind Carly. Jason draws a line of GH. We do think when Jason chooses who to bring with him on his arm to Monica's funeral, it's going to draw a line. If he brings Britt, and he might, Carly will be salty about it. And we doubt she'll respect Jason setting boundaries with her. But Jason has to set boundaries with Carly or Britt, or any other woman he might want to date, isn't going to put up with it. It's been going on like this for just way too long. Bottom line, Jason's never going to get another shot with Britt unless he proves to her with his actions that he can and will put her first in front of Carly. We don't think Britt expects Jason to put her in front of his kids, so she's very reasonable like that. But we think it's kind of way past time for Jason to stop constantly sacrificing everything in his life for Carly. Jason and Carly can still be besties, but have boundaries. Once again a battlefield of broken loyalties and unspoken love. And this week, the front lines belong to Carly Spencer and Britt Westbourne. With Jason Morgan caught squarely in the middle, the question becomes, can anyone survive the emotional carnage about to unfold? Carly's return to the center of chaos. Carly's week begins with what she does best, taking charge of a situation that isn't hers to control. After her brief stint trying to keep peace at the Metro Court, she finds herself dragged back into Jason's orbit when she overhears a tense exchange between Britt and Sonny. Britt's frustrations about Jason's distance spill into the open, and Carly, never one to let a comment about Jason slide, steps right in. "You have no idea who Jason is," Carly snaps, her voice sharp as glass. "If you did, you'd know not to push him." Britt doesn't flinch. "Actually, Carly, I think I know exactly who Jason is. I just don't treat him like he needs a bodyguard, or a babysitter." The room falls silent, tension sizzling like static electricity. For Carly, that's strike one, and she's not the kind of woman who lets things slide quietly. Later, she corners Jason in his safe house, demanding answers. "Why is Britt talking to Sonny about you? Since when does she get to weigh in on your life?" Jason tries to defuse her, insisting he's focused on business and not relationships, but Carly can't hide her jealousy. Deep down, she's not just worried about Jason's safety. She's terrified that someone else might understand him the way she always has. Britt draws her line. Britt, meanwhile, is done being dismissed. The britch may have softened since her days of scheming with Faison and lying about baby Rocco, but she's still got a fiery temper and a backbone made of steel. After her confrontation with Carly, Britt vents to Lisa Lobrecht, who can't resist giving her daughter some sharp-edged advice. "Carly Spencer is like a cat," Liesl says dryly. "She will scratch anyone who gets too close to her favorite toy. If you wish to survive, perhaps it is best to leave Jason to her claws." Britt rolls her eyes, but the comment hits a nerve. She's fallen for Jason, quietly, deeply, and without apology. Yet she knows his heart beats in rhythm with Carly's, even if neither of them will say it aloud. Still, Britt's no shrinking violet. She refuses to bow out of the fight for Jason's affection. The next day, when Jason drops by her apartment to discuss a lead on a recent mob hit, Britt doesn't waste time on pretense. "I'm not going to keep pretending, Jason. You can keep saying you and Carly are just friends, but I've seen the way she looks at you. The way you look back." Jason's silence says it all. Jason's torn heart. For Jason Morgan, loyalty has always been the law. Loyalty to Sonny, to Carly, to his code. But ever since Britt came into his life, things have shifted. She brings light into his shadowed world, and he feels something close to peace when he's around her. Still, his connection to Carly runs deeper than words, a bond forged in trauma, history, and devotion. After the confrontation, Jason finds himself sitting on the pier, the cold air cutting through his leather jacket. His mind replays every conversation, every decision. He remembers holding Carly after Morgan's death. He remembers promising Britt a future that now feels impossible. Sam passes by, pausing when she sees him. "You look like a man trying to choose between fire and water," she observes quietly. Jason sighs. "What if both burn?" Sam gives a faint smile. "Then you'd better decide which flame you can live with." Her words stick with him long after she walks away. The clash at the Metro Court. Everything explodes when Carly and Britt cross paths again at the Metro Court. What starts as a polite exchange turns into verbal warfare within seconds. Britt approaches the bar to order a drink, only to find Carly already there, her expression ice-cold. "I heard you and Jason were talking," Carly says, trying to sound casual but failing. Britt smirks. "Talking, yes. Something wrong with that?" Carly's jaw tightens. "You think you know Jason, but you don't. He doesn't do drama. He doesn't need someone trying to change him." "Oh, you mean like you tried to?" Britt fires back. "Jason doesn't need a mother figure, Carly. He needs someone who sees him as a man, not a shadow to hide behind." The room stills as half the Metro Court turns to watch. Carly steps closer, lowering her voice to a dangerous whisper. "You don't belong in his world, Britt. You never did. And you do." Britt retorts, her tone sharp. "Because from where I'm standing, you've had every chance to be with him, and you keep walking away. Maybe it's time you let him choose for himself." Before Carly can respond, Jason appears, clearly having walked into the wrong moment. His eyes dart between them, his calm facade cracking for the first time. "Enough," he says firmly. "Both of you." A shocking choice. Later that night, Jason visits Britt at the hospital. She's shaken but still standing tall. "You don't need to defend me," she tells him. "I can handle Carly." Jason looks at her, torn. "It's not about defending you. I just hate seeing two people I care about go at each other." "Two people you care about," Britt echoes softly. "But who do you love, Jason?"